was the last fight you watched?
Last fight I saw was the Klitschko fight.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect way to start the conversation.
That's it.
Were you surprised?
I was very surprised in that I didn't think Wladimir was able to really get off with his right hand at all.
Yeah.
And I was also surprised that there wasn't more of an urgency for Wladimir in that fight. You know, it's for the World Championship. I was very pleased to see Tyson Fury's footwork. I thought his footwork was brilliant in the fight.
For a big guy.
Yeah,
right?
for a big guy, he moved very well. And I think that's important in heavyweight boxing. You know, and he showed me that. I didn't realize he had that in him, and he certainly was able to handle the size of Klitschko, no bother. There were no body shots in the fight, which is kind of unusual, but you know, it was not one of the great heavyweight fights that I've seen, because the week before that I did the telecast of the Miguel Cotto Alvarez fight, and that was a sensational fight to call, you know?
Did you enjoy that fight though? Like,
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good fight. You know, it was kind of the changing of the guard, the old out, the new in, and you know, when you're there and you get a sold out arena and the enthusiasm.
I guess being in the arena would be a different story.
Yeah, and the Mexican fans are great boxing fans, and they were going crazy for Alvarez. Had the fight been in New York, where Cotto has a big fan base, it would have been different. But
I guess we needed Canelo to win because, you know, we want someone to face, you know, Gennady, right? So
yeah.
I think he seems to be the only willing guy.
That'd be a mega fight.
How do you see that going?
Well, there's a fight. It's got to happen, you know.
Yeah.
I think Golovokin might have more in his arsenal.
I agree.
Than Alvarez, but Alvarez is strong, very, very strong. So it would be, I think, a terrific fight. There's no question it'll be a terrific fight. But Golovokin does a lot of things very, very well.
Now, just turning attention to this fight ahead of us, Joseph Parker versus Daniel the Mountain Moss. Well, how do you see this fight going? A relatively easy fight for Parker?
Well,
unless the upset happens.
You gotta understand there's a big difference when you see the betting, what a big favorite Joseph is, because Joseph is from here. Basically, Daniel's not known here at all. Everybody wants Joseph to be the world heavyweight champion, and he's on the road to do that. And so that's why the betting odds are the way they are. Joseph has so many tools. He's such a great boxer. He moves so well, and he punches so hard, and he takes great instructions from Kevin Barry, and he follows his game plans. But Martz is a big, tall guy. As all the super heavyweights are today, they're all 6'5" plus. This guy's up around 6'7", and so these are the types of guys that they want to develop. But remember, Joseph's only 16-0. He's in the early stages of his development, and we forget that. He's ready for the world title.
Tyson Fury.
You know, he's ready right away, but he's not. He still has a lot to learn. And he's right on target. He's right where he should be. He's going to fight this fight. If it goes the way it's planned, then he'll fight in January, the 23rd, a southpaw fighter, which is another thing he's got to do. And then they'll try to get I would say, a top 10 ranked fighter for him to fight in Christchurch in April. So we'll see. It's getting more difficult to get the types of opponents that they want to bring him along, to get somebody ranked from, let's say 10 down to 20, and get somebody in that area, because those guys are moving up and they don't want to take a chance of getting knocked out with an undefeated guy that hits like Joseph Parker.
Exactly.
So it's a problem. And so far, the Duco team with Kevin and Stuart Duncan and everybody at Duco, including Dean Lonergan, who's doing a great job putting this together, and David Higgins and whatnot. They're doing a great job. They're spot on with this guy, and that's why I've become a real fan. I know the whole family is his mom and his dad, his brother. They're great people, and I want to see him do well.
So Parker, he looks like the full package. He's beefy, he has speed. But what would you say his main asset is?
His speed.
His speed. Right?
Yeah.
Would you say he's one of the fastest out there?
Yeah, he's one of the fastest heavyweights. But his speed is probably his greatest attribute, but also his coachability, because he's able to go out there. He doesn't. We've seen him cut bad. He had to finish that fight in the next round, or it was going to be stopped. He was able to do that. We saw him fight with the bad shoulder. He was able to perform with a bad shoulder. So he's had adversities against Nacimientos. He hurt his eardrum.
Yeah.
And so all of those things have to be taken into consideration as just how tough he is. So he's got the toughness. He's got the hand speed.
The chin.
He's got the power. Chin hasn't been really tested that much yet. But that's something else we'll find out about. But that's why I say every fight is still a learning process for him. But the other thing is that he's developing into his, I always like to say he's growing into his ears. In other words, he's getting bigger all the time.
Got it.
He's not getting heavier, he's getting more muscular. His chest is getting thicker and his arms are getting stronger and he still has that speed. None of that thickening of his body has slowed him down one iota. So he's definitely, he and Joshua from England are two of the up-and-coming heavyweights that are really something to be looking at.
I was just gonna ask you, how do you see a fight between, Joshua and Joseph?
I don't see that fight happening until one of them is heavyweight champion.
Until maybe 2016?
No, not unless one of them is heavyweight champion, because you get two fighters that have that kind of ability that should fight for a world title when it does happen. You don't want either one of those guys to get knocked off fighting each other for low money.
Yeah.
Professional boxing is about money.
Business.
And it's a business. And
People forget that, right?
Well, we do because we're sports fans.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fact of the matter is, Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker is a down-the-line heavyweight championship fight, and it should be for a title, and there should be a lot of money involved. People are going to have to pay to see that one.
Can't wait.
I just hope I call it.
Yeah. Colonel, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for taking the time to talk to Glad Rap Channel.
Anytime, you know that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.